I'm the sort of person who would consider oneself a reflective person, introspective if you will. I've mentioned before how I find humans fascinating and can't seem to switch off my psychoanalytical side, particularly when it comes to myself. People find self-awareness to be a great skill. However, I was walking back from work today and thought, how much is too much? I'm already aware of the benefits, better controlled emotions particularly. But are psychoanalysis and self-awareness just another form of overthinking? Or is it actually one of the keys to success? I'm aware it's ironic that I talk about overthinking and then proceed to do a video on metacognition, a term used for thinking about thinking. I suppose I wonder if I'll ever be able to not think like I do, or as I get older, do I only get more deeper into thought and analysis? So in this video, I'm going to go into what philosophers had to say on the matter, as well as some neurobiology of deep thinkers. If you're new here, I'm Amy Claire, and on this channel, I try to understand human nature, philosophy, and life stories to help me make sense of life and how we all get to where we are. The ancient Greeks had a famous maxim inscribed in the Temple of Apollo: know thyself. Socrates took this further, claiming that the unexamined life is not worth living. But I do wonder whether Socrates had a breakdown and then felt compelled to psychoanalyze every single emotion occurred, or replay conversations in his head at 3 AM. There's an interesting tension between Eastern and Western philosophical approaches to self-awareness. Western philosophy has often emphasized rational self-examination. I think, therefore I am, right? But Eastern traditions like Buddhism and Taoism suggest that true wisdom comes from quietening the analytical mind, not ramping it up. I really enjoy Buddhism and actually went to a meditation event hosted by a well-known monk. What I found insightful was his acknowledgement that we can't actually stop our thoughts, but we can learn to sit with them. Of course, I was thinking about not thinking during the meditation, which is pretty much the same thing as thinking about thinking, but I've realised it's far more difficult to switch off when I'm in a deep state of mind, not to be confused with chaotic. From a neurobiological perspective, there's something fascinating happening in the brains of deep thinkers. Research shows that people who engage in regular introspection often have heightened activity in the default mode network, the set of brain regions that activate when we're not focused on the external world. This network is associated with self-reflection, autobiographical memory, and thinking about others' perspectives. But here's the catch. Studies also suggest that excessive rumination, that constant analytical loop, correlates with higher risks of anxiety and depression. So while reflection can lead to growth and insight, there seems to be a tipping point where it becomes counterproductive. I for sure have experienced this as I plowed through podcasts, books and videos trying to make sense of it all. There's also this concept called cognitive diffusion in acceptance and commitment therapy. The idea is to create some distance between yourself and your thoughts, to see thoughts as mental events rather than absolute truths or commands you must obey. It's not about stopping the analysis, but about changing your relationship with it. So maybe the question isn't whether self-awareness is good or bad, but what kind of self-awareness we're practicing. Psychologist Tasha Eurich distinguishes between introspection, why am I like this, and insight, what am I like? Her research suggests that asking what questions leads to genuine insight, while why questions often lead to unproductive rumination. I suppose the healthiest approach is balance, periods of deep reflection followed by periods of just not giving a shite. But it can be easier said than done, of course. I'm curious about your relationship with introspection. Do you find yourself overthinking? Has self-awareness helped you? Or do you sometimes wish that you could just turn off that analytical part of your brain? Let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, like and subscribe.